drama, poetry and performance have once again taken over the streets of Avignon as the city hosts the 79th edition of its world-renowned theatre festival. Contemporary dance has a starring role this year with associate artist Marlene Montero Freitas and her choreography Not, which draws inspiration from the mistress of storytelling, Scheherazade, and her 1001 Nights. There's a musical celebration of Egyptian icon Kulthum with a special concert to mark 50 years since she died. And after English and Spanish, Arabic is this year's guest language, with festival director Tiago Rodrigues inviting artists from the Middle East, North Africa and Europe to add their unique voices to this increasingly international conversation.
Through language, any language in a festival like Avignon, we can connect with a plurality of world views and travel without leaving home. We can go on great voyages of discovery, take an interest in others. What's curious about the Arabic language is that we're offering this far-off destination to many people in audiences. Arabic is the second most widely spoken language in France after French. We're also asking them to go on a journey to their homes because a lot of our audience has links to the Arabic language because of their family backgrounds. And they're coming to the Avignon Festival, sometimes for the first time, because we've invited the Arabic language this year.
This year's festival opens with a very powerful piece of work thanks to director and choreographer Ali Shahrour, who joins me now. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Now, your latest creation, When I Saw the Sea, introduces us to three women who, on stage, give us an insight into the conditions of migrant workers in Lebanon. I believe it was inspired by true events, a very difficult, tense time in Lebanon. Can you tell us when the idea came to you and how it came about?
During the recent war in Lebanon, the Israeli war in Lebanon, when I was trying to find a safe place for me and my family and my beloved ones, I saw on social media that there is migrant domestic workers who works under al-kafala system, which is considered as a modern slavery system. They were left alone by the corniche of Beirut facing the sea, without their passports, without money, without food. Their employers decided to escape from the war and travel to Europe, but they left them on the streets. And there was only one lady that she was laughing and she was happy. And she said, "It's the first time I see sea in Lebanon and fish are jumping." And I was so moved by this very specific moment. And this contradiction between the extreme fear and death and happiness of seeing the horizon of freedom for the first time. So I decided that this will be my next project. So we started the journey of When I Saw the Sea under the bombs in Beirut. It was very clear for me that I will not stop working unless I'm dead. Because I believe that what we went through in Lebanon is a war of elimination, and what's happening in Palestine, it's a war of elimination, and we will not let anyone to eliminate our voices. We want to keep the stories alive.
أنا اسمي زينب. زينب هي شجرة حمضة ريحتها طيبة. هيدا مش اسمي الحقيقي. اسمي اليوتيوب Sunlight. Sunlight يعني الشمس والليل. جيت على لبنان قبل 24 سنة لحتى أشتغل بتنظيف البيوت. قبل ما أجي كنت كتير متحمسة. رحت اشتريت تياب جديد مع أهلي.
those three protagonists, I believe they weren't professional performers before you started working with them. So what were the major challenges for them in creating this piece and for you directing them?
There was so many challenges in this creation. The first part is the legal part, because we wanted to work with also many other migrant domestic workers, but it was impossible because they should have the agreement and the acceptance of the employer that definitely they refused. With the three ladies on stage, they have legal papers. But some of them, they still work as cleaning ladies, so we had to make a deal with the schedule that they finish work, they come immediately to the rehearsals, they have to travel. And beside this, the stories that we are dealing with, they are like not only the stories of the individuals, it's stories of hundreds of migrant domestic workers who are still suffering from this system, but also who died and left this world without getting the justice they deserve. And this was the main pulse or the main need of the three ladies on stage, to tell the stories of the other ladies that they are still suffering from this system.
First of all, what we made is simple truth. What we talk about and what we perform is what we went through. So there's no excessive drama or fiction. It's our reality. And for me, I found it easy to do it. What was hard was what happened before. But today it's easier to talk about it. And the message is that we must get justice for all my friends that are still alive or dead or still going through this repressive kafala visa system. It's a message for them to reclaim justice.
And sound seems to be a really important element in this piece, whether it's music, their voices, or even silence. How did you see the role of sound in creating an atmosphere for this creation?
During the process, we discovered that Tanay, she loves to sing, and she used to sing by the river with her mother. And I love to work with live music and musicians and the impact of the sound on the body. And in the work I do, we don't have categories. Like, this is musical, this is theater, this is dance, this is text-based. We use all the elements that we need to support the idea we have. But mainly everything you see in the performance, it really comes from the need of the performers on stage.
You were here in Avignon a couple of years back with a performance Told by My Mother, and I believe you persuaded members of your own family to get up on stage, tell very personal stories. How did you persuade them? Why did they agree to tell those intimate things in front of an audience?
They have a message to deliver, and this performance for them and for me, it's an act of reclaiming. It's reclaiming the names, the real names that their mother chose for them, reclaiming their bodies, the voices, and we use the stage as a platform for justice. It's a performance not only about Lebanon, it's a performance about how we see the other and the fear we have from the other and the stranger. I come from a Lebanese family. My brother and sister, they are migrants in Europe, and they face also a lot of racism as Arabs in Europe. And I believe that this is, if we just adopt the story of the other, we will save what remains from our humanity.
Your creations often give women storytelling roles. They center women's voices. Why is that so important to you? And were there any specific women who inspired you?
Definitely, I'm very inspired by my mother. And I'm raised in a family like, I was raised by a woman, very powerful woman. And I'm so inspired by this power of resistance, with this poetry, with this care, but at the same time, they are fighters. Like, you heard the story of those three ladies on stage, but they don't want to show off that they are fighters. And the aim of this work is to recreate the new icons of the contemporary society, the new concept of heroes. Those heroes, they are hidden in the houses of Beirut and no one knows about or hear their stories. And we celebrate those small victories that have been lost within this political mess. We spend time to hear and see and feel the individuals.
When I Saw the Sea was created and performed at the Al Medina Theatre in Beirut, one of the handful of cultural institutions that's going strong in the Lebanese capital. But artists have suffered enormously in Lebanon after the financial crisis, the port explosion, COVID. Why do you think culture does survive? What is keeping it alive and the sector keeps going?
I don't really have an answer. It's a bit absurd how artists are surviving, how theaters are always full, even the very few remaining theaters in Beirut. We have been going through endless crisis since ever, but since 5 years it's really getting very intense. And as I said, I think it's our way of surviving this situation. It's our need to just keep our voices, keep the stories alive. In the middle of the war, most of the meetings I did with the ladies were interrupted by bombs. We stopped for 10 minutes and we still continue the meeting again. It's really, I don't know how to defend my land. I don't know how to fight, how to kill people, but I know how to do dance and theater. And it's not a choice for me anymore to be disconnected from this reality. It's our tool of resistance, but we are always aware that I'm not an activist, I'm not an NGO. The priority is for the artistic approach and the artistic proposition itself.
Ali Shahrour, thank you so much for joining us today. Well, we're wrapping up the show with another project that pays tribute to the resilience and creativity of women. La Russa Quartet is a performance by choreographers Selma and Sofiane Ouissi, who draw inspiration from the northern Tunisian tradition of making pottery figurines. It's an ancestral tradition passed on from mother to daughter. We'll leave you with a preview of that show. Do check in with us next time here on Ask 24.